a $60 billion weapons deal from the United States of America.
Pores vanish, skin looks smoother, perfect.
Natural way to burn fat.
And 1 in 5 children now lives in poverty.
Get a good night's sleep. Try 2-layer ambient CR. The first layer dissolves
And burn 7 pounds instantly.
According to the country's Prime Minister, who declared over 100,000 lives.
Join the 7 million people worldwide to report stunning.
Hello, my name is
I would say in sort of Western North American, say maybe more, we're dominated largely by U.S. culture, so I'll use that as an example. I would say, yeah, overall right now it's going in a very, very negative spin. I think sadly Canada's going to be following along in a lot of ways. So yeah, I would look at it generally as a society going downhill. In my opinion, in your lifetime, a lot of serious issues are going to get a lot worse. Things like healthcare, for example, things like the environment, things like being over-medicated, things like paying a fortune for things like water and so on, and water will be a huge issue. So I think in that sense, things will get much, much worse.
My short-term goals, pretty much they're all school-related.
I want to save up some money and leave on a big trip.
Get into university and figure all that out.
To get into the police program at Abbott and graduate from that.
My long-term goals would definitely to probably have a studio and just sell my art for a while and just live off my art.
I don't really make long-term goals because I don't just believe living in the moment.
I want to be able to live without having to depend on anybody, on society.
Be happy in life and be successful. I think these are key things.
Society. I don't know. It is what it is.
I believe that what we see manifesting in our lives is not a reflection of what we really want as a whole.
I'd like to believe that we're moving forward, but sometimes I just really don't think we are.
I think that we're forced into being a way that we don't really want to be. We're forced into being a way that is not sustainable. And that creates us that makes us just be in competition mode with each other.
I find too many people are just going with what society tells them. I think it's a major problem because no one tends to think in their own perspective. Everyone's just going with the norms.
We're in a constant fast-moving time society, and because we're so in this rhythm, we never get out of the rhythm to actually think about what else is happening and on focusing about ourselves.
There's still so much poverty and there's so much war, and you think we're doing better because we live in North America, but we have it easy here.
Media. I think media today is very materialistic.
All the products that are being used, all the beauty products, all the different drinks, all the different things that you buy, well, before you didn't need these things.
If you look at music videos or things on TV, advertisements, everything's very sexually oriented. They're portraying the wrong aspects of the human qualities. They're always going for something just to appeal to a crowd of people.
Well, people associate with themselves with what they see, so if you give them something, then they'll take it as being what they are, and that's basically what's happening now.
Media makes society suspicious. More people watch TV and radio and are more involved in media, more they're suspicious of their neighbors and and people in general.
I think the news like portrays things they want you to like be afraid of, to like kind of keep people in line. So they like, as they show you like worst case scenarios.
When you look at history of media and you look at how it's been manipulated through time, through propaganda and marketing and all the means to create some kind of image of society, you realize that it has a tremendous power on us.
I think it affects people, but at the same time, I don't think it affects smart people. I don't, honestly. I think, if you know who you are as a person, you're not going to let that stuff form you.
It's all about money making and population control, so I mean, it's not helping us. I think people in general don't understand the bigger picture.
There is definitely a lot of people out there who are just like, they don't really care about like the world. They're just doing their own thing and like just living their life. They're not really like really, I wouldn't say like aware of like their surroundings.
Our generation is actually the communication generation. Everybody's texting, communicating. There's a million resources to find out anything you want, anytime, anywhere. And yet we can still say that people are ignorant when there's really no excuse to be ignorant at this point.
People have to be driven to a precipice, to a hole, and to jump off the cliff in order to realize what's going on.
People now use shortcuts to happiness, which are like immediate pleasures, like try to satisfy themselves immediately, fast, quickly, instead of gratification and authentic happiness, which is like doing activities that won't fulfill you immediately, but that in the long run will make you feel like a better person, like pretty much what gratification is.
And, we just don't embrace being able to just live on this planet. We've deluded ourselves from our roots, and that's what we're at right now.
We're missing out on all these values and skipping out on things, and like that would explain why people have this like sudden lack of empathy and can't relate to each other as much.
I think the most important thing to do is to be aware, to be conscious of what we're doing to ourselves.
People just like become aware of like their own life. They could just lead a happier life as opposed to like just lead doing what everyone's doing.
Because as soon as you go out past a certain point and you realize what kind of impact you have on the whole, you realize that you're upside down. You're not doing the right thing. We're all not doing the right thing.
Working on yourself is pretty much like the best way to help, I think, because the problem comes from people and not like society or like the world as a whole.
I'd like to believe, and I really hope to believe that, maybe one day everyone will really care for each other, and because, I want world peace. Like, I want everyone to love each other.
If you ask anybody in the streets what they want for people, most of the time you're going to get a positive answer. And that's that shows us that the whole, the people, the voice of the people is not heard.
People are less happy, and if people are less happy and like function less well, then society is going to be less happy and function less well. And then like it's like a big circle, but like it all starts with you.
Just let people be who they are, because everyone is so amazing if they are just who they are.
As a whole, we need to kind of manifest towards that and say what we want in order to go that direction.
Happy people make happy world.
Hello, my name is Dan Gunville.
Maria Vauclair.
Frank Michopoulos.
Erica Ciccoletti.
that you educate yourself as well as you can make so that you can make informed choices. And while it feels like one person can't make a difference, I don't agree with that. And I think one person does make a difference. This cliche sort of think globally, act locally. Better to at least try for some change than give up all hope. And you will certainly be taken advantage of by some group, by some organization.